Have you ever stopped to think about a relationship as, well, as a building? Something you actually design and construct, something you have to maintain over time? Today, let's put on our hard hats because we're going to explore the architectural blueprints for a connection that isn't just beautiful, but is truly built to last. And that brings us to the big question, right? What is the real blueprint here? See, it's not about finding some perfect prefabricated partner that's ready to go. It's about understanding the core principles of sound construction. And you know the first rule of any building project, you have to start with a solid foundation. And that, right there, is our foundation. I mean, think about it. Whether it's a skyscraper or a house, if that foundation is weak, everything, and I mean everything built on top of it is at risk. And in a relationship, that non-negotiable foundation is always, always going to be trust, not control. This right here is the bedrock. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But the difference between these two things, man, it's the difference between building a safe, warm home and building a prison. So let's really dig into what that looks like. When you put them side by side, you can see these are two totally different worlds. Trust, well, that creates a safe harbor. It fosters a deep sense of security, and it gives both people the freedom to be their real, authentic selves. Control, on the other hand, well, it might feel like safety to the person doing it, but it's just an illusion. And all it does in the long run is breed resentment and anxiety. The takeaway here is so important. You simply cannot build a lasting structure on a foundation of fear. It'll crumble every time. All right, so our foundation of trust is poured and set. It's solid. So what's next? Well, now we can start putting up the framework. This is the stuff that gives the relationship its shape and its strength. You know, the beams and the pillars that hold it all together. And for that, we need two absolutely essential materials: communication and space. Okay, this is such a critical point. So many of us, and I think we're all guilty of this, think communication is just about getting our own point across. But real structural communication, that's about listening. And I don't mean just waiting for your turn to talk. I mean really, truly hearing what the other person is saying so you can understand where they're coming from. And there's actually a name for this building technique. It's called active listening, and it is a skill you can learn. It means you're fully present, you're reflecting back what you hear, you're asking questions to get clarity. It's really the difference between talking at someone and actually building a bridge with them. Now for the second part of our framework, space. And I know this might sound a little counterintuitive, right? Build a relationship with space. But a strong structure needs open areas. It needs separate rooms for individuals to just be. Clinging to someone, trying to erase their individual identity, that doesn't make a relationship stronger, it just makes it feel claustrophobic. Respecting someone's personal space, their hobbies, their friendships, that's what lets the bond breathe. And funny enough, it's what allows it to grow even stronger. Of course, no matter how perfectly you build, storms are going to come. It's inevitable. Disagreements, conflicts, they are going to happen. The real test of your structure isn't whether you can avoid the storms, it's how well it stands up to them when they finally arrive. And this, right here, just nails the core issue. The argument itself, that's just wind and rain. The real damage, the stuff that causes cracks in the foundation and breaks the windows, that comes from disrespect. The yelling, the belittling, dismissing someone's feelings, that is what causes structural failure. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And you know what? The answer goes right back to what we've already built. It comes back to that framework of active listening and that solid foundation of trust. Can you express how you feel without attacking the other person? Can you still listen to their side even when you're hurt or you're angry? That skill, that is what storm-proofs your relationship. You know, you wouldn't build a beautiful house and then just walk away from it, right? Of course not. You maintain it, you renovate it, maybe you even add on to it over time. A relationship is exactly the same. It's a living, breathing blueprint that needs ongoing work and a real vision for growth. For decades, we've all been sold this idea from movies and songs about finding someone who completes you. And it sounds romantic, but if you think about it, it kind of implies that you're only half a person to begin with. A much healthier and way more sustainable way to look at it is this. You find someone who supports and champions the absolute best version of you. It's not about two halves making a whole. It's about two whole individuals coming together to build something magnificent. And that kind of growth, it isn't an accident. It doesn't just happen by magic. It happens because of small, consistent, daily investments. You know, a thoughtful question, a moment of real support, a shared laugh over something silly. These are the little acts of daily maintenance that keep the whole structure strong and vibrant. So, let's do a quick review of our essential building materials. First, you've got that non-negotiable foundation, trust. Then, for the framework, you need active listening and plenty of respect for space. To weather the storms, it's all about respectful disagreement. And for the future, for growth, you need mutual support and that consistent daily effort. These are the core components on our blueprint. And all of this brings us to our final and maybe the most important architectural principle of all. It's about making a huge shift in our mindset, a shift away from searching for something that's already finished and toward embracing our role as the builder. So here it is, the ultimate takeaway. Stop searching for that turnkey, move-in ready, perfect relationship. Honestly, it doesn't exist. The most beautiful, the most meaningful structures are the ones we build ourselves, brick by brick, with the simple tools of honesty and kindness. Because the real joy isn't in finding the perfect home, it's in creating it together.